It's 7 o'clock here in Atlanta. Hi there, who's that? The first person. Hey, how are you? Happy Monday once again. This is Coach Barbara, and I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, where I now live in the South. It's a beautiful day here, even though it just started raining, but today was absolutely beautiful. Come on in, you guys. Hey, Charlene and Cody. Hey, come on in, folks. While we listen to Brannis McKenzie from Oakland, California, singing At the Well. Hi, Desiree. This is Brannis. You know, when we started Sisters at the Well, it's been 15 years. Can you imagine? We started this gathering of women from across the world. We come together to support each other and to love up on each other, share good news with each other. And when we did that, hey Juanita, Brannis McKenzie wrote this song for us. How's the volume? Is it okay today? We had a little volume problem before, so we don't want to do that again. I want you to hear Brannis, and I certainly want you to hear this conversation we're going to have this evening. Juanita, I love you back. Thank you for who you are, how you show up in the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let a few folks come in. Would you do me a favor? Can you share it? Hit the share button right now. Hit the share button for me. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Hi, Gwendolyn. I'm going to start to turn the music down. We love Miss Brannis and Sisters at the Well. Hey, do me a favor. Please share it. Tag about 5 people. Let some other folks come on in. Thanks, Cody, for sharing. Let a few other folks come on in and join us today. We're going to hang out for about 30 minutes. Have a really good topic today. Our topic is letting go of was. W-A-S. Was. The past. Letting go of that. That's our topic today. For those of you who are new, first-timers here to Real Talk with Love, I'm Coach Barbara Perkins. I've been a coach for about 20 years. Life coach, spiritual coach, book coach, and an executive coach. And for the past 14 weeks, we have been coming together here, gathering at this metaphoric well to talk about, things. We've had a variety of topics in 14 weeks, but, I'm all about sharing the good news because bad news travels so doggone fast. We have to turn the thing around and share the good news. So I'm about, if you hear something good, call a friend. Tell them about it. Share the good news. Let's dispel this myth that we as sisters don't really like to share good stuff with each other. That's not true. That is not the best of who we are. And so here, when we gather at this metaphoric well for our 30 minutes on Mondays, it's all about good news. Hey, thank you, Valerie, Sharon, for coming in. Chanel, thank you for watching. Share this with somebody right now. We're talking about sharing good news. So I am just delighted always every Monday. I take my time and I prepare and think about what we could talk about. But before we jump into our conversation, which I think is going to be really interesting for us, some reflections for us, I want to just I don't have a question of the week this week. Actually, I didn't get one submitted this week. So if you have a question for next week, go ahead and submit it, and I'll try to answer it before we get started on the topic. Hey, Erica and Valerie. But since we don't have a question of the week, I want to talk just a few moments about, we can't not talk about this virus and what's going on, right? So regardless of how the government is responding, regardless of this disinformation and misinformation that we're getting, I'm just trying to find out what is going on with us. Y'all know what I mean when I say us. We know that what we're hearing on TV is not always the truth. We know that. And certainly not always in our best interest. So can you tell me, why are we walking around without masks on still? Why are our cousins, our nieces and nephews and children running in and out of the house and visiting and, having the dinner parties and going to the beach, going to the mall and hanging out just like there is no pandemic? I don't understand what's going on with us. This 4th of July, people were just out and about like nothing was happening. Hey, Charlene, and Charlene called me. She said, have you been out? Did you see all the people out with no mask? I said yes, which is why I got my tail right back on in the house. I come out once a week. Y'all know I still come out on Wednesdays. That's my one day to do grocery or emergencies. And when I don't have anything, I don't need to go. Because I'm trying to survive. I want to see some of you guys. I want to hug some of you in the flesh. We want to hook up again and go out and enjoy ourselves, but we're not going to do that if we are in and out as if there's no pandemic. It is real. Florida is off the chain. I'm from Florida, and so I'm going to just go out on a limb and say, y'all crazy. Why are you on the beach? And getting into fights because people told you to put your mask on. That's absolutely insane. So stop it. Tell your nieces and your nephews and your kids and everybody else to stop it. That's not good. And we want to live, and you want to live. My son just came here. Got in last night from California. I'm so thrilled that he is here with us. And when they came from the airport, they will tell you, I gave them an elbow bump. I told my son in the beginning, there will be no hugging and kissing mommy. As much as I want to hug and kiss you, no, elbow bump. They got out of the car with a mask on. I greeted them at the door with a mask on. This is what we're dealing with, because guess what we want to do? We want to survive. Okay? End of lecture. I don't feel bad that I'm doing it. I think we all need to pick up the phone when this is over. Make a note to self. There's somebody in your family that needs to be called. And with love, because we real talk with love, you need to say to them, stop it. It's bad behavior. Put a mask on. And listen, if you know somebody who needs a mask, do me a favor. Put in the thread their name and address. I'll send them one. I have a bunch of masks that these beautiful young women in Ghana, Africa made. And I'm very generous with them because because I don't want anybody else, not another family member, not another friend of a friend, to get sick with this virus. So if you know somebody who does not have a mask and they need one, put it in the thread. I'll be happy to send them one. So I love you for that. So now let's talk about our topic for tonight. The topic for tonight, and I made some great notes, I think. Letting go. Letting go of what was. You know, the past. Those things that often want to hold us hostage in our minds. Letting them go. And I hear people so often say, hey, Coralie and Shauna, I'm glad you guys are here. But I hear people sometimes say, oh, just release it, let it go, and let God. And you know, we have all the cliches, we have all the sayings. And then they turn right around, and you know they holding on to some old stuff. Old stuff. Because it's easy to romanticize about how good the past was, especially now. You know, we've been sheltered in for a long time. I know my date. I closed my door March 10th. That's a long time ago, right? And we haven't been out. We haven't been the same since. And don't you remember only 7 or 8 months ago when we were in December, when we were thinking about, oh, 2020, it's coming. Oh my goodness, what a year we're going to have in 2020. And we were making plans and we were like, peace out 2019. I'm done with you. I got plans for 2020. Remember? We just simply were beside ourselves. It was going to be the new decade. 2020 vision. Everybody had a special little hook for what 2020 was going to do. Hey, Allison. So 2020, we had high hopes, and we didn't get into the year good yet. Because it takes us about 2-3 months to really get into our routine of exercising and all the promises we make to ourselves in the new year. We had just gotten into the groove of the new year. We were still saying Happy New Year. And then this thing happened. Almost out of nowhere, because I'm going to tell you, most of us were not paying attention in December and January when we were hearing about this crazy virus that was happening across the world in China. We were not paying attention. And then all of a sudden, the end of February, we started saying, okay, now this is something. And the first week of March, our entire worlds turned upside down. So now we sit back, here we are 4 months into this thing. And it would be really easy to romanticize about 2019. What was? It would be easy to sit here and say, oh my God, I want to go back to 2019. I want to go back to if I would have known that I was going to be where I am today, I would have treated 2019 better. But guess what? It's the past. It is gone. It is over. We don't get to do it over. 2019 is not here and it's not coming back. All you can do is remember. Same thing with our lives. We can rewind our imaginations. We can imagine what it would be like if we could go back there. And of course, if you go back there, you're going back now with this information. You see how it's not possible for that to happen? It's not possible. Which means 2019, Valerie, is not serving us today. 2019 can't serve us. What was, was. That's it. Our challenge today is to use the past to move us forward. And sometimes, here's what we do. Sometimes, there's some bad things that happen in life. We know that. Challenges, lessons. Hey, Fluke, glad you're here. Things happen in life that, sometimes bring us to our knees. And yes, we can say those things are lessons or they're blessings. And yes, that's all true. What we cannot do is hold on to those things that do not serve us well in the present moment. So 2019 was in the past. Can't serve us today. All you can do is remember. So in order for us to move forward into our potential, into what is ahead of us, we gotta release something. Something has to go. So no matter how much we romanticize about the past, you don't want to invest the past, right? You want to invest in the future. What was, and it does not serve us to invest today into yesterday. This beautiful energy that we have, these new ideas, these new possibilities, all of these new dreams, how we could reimagine our gifts and talents, and how we can breathe life into those things, all of that gets short-circuited if we spend our energy on the past. And you might say, hey, Barbara, it's easy for you to say, but the past was so hurtful for me. Hey, my friend Eric, thanks for joining us. You may say, Barbara Perkins, how am I supposed to forget that? Do you know how painful that past thing was? Do you know how the person hurt me? Do you know the trust that was violated? Do you know the pain of someone talking about you? I do. In fact, I know so much about it, I wrote a book about it called Coaching Yourself Through Betrayal. I know what it is to be hurt in the past. But I also know how good it is when you propel yourself beyond that hurt into the future. That is what we have to remember. Hey, Renee. Maya Angelou in an interview said, share some of this right now, you guys. Thank you for joining. Please hit the share button. Let's share this with some other folk. Maya Angelou was being interviewed, and I think she was being interviewed by Oprah. And she answered a question. She said, I am 72 years old, and I am en route to becoming a wise woman. And boy, how that thing resonates with me. I'm 62 years old, and I'm en route to becoming a wise woman. And what I know about wisdom, it comes often from experiences, right? It comes from some of these past experiences that we have. Yes, Valerie, that part. Wisdom comes when we're able to still ourselves, pause, sit with it, find the lesson in it. Know that yes, there was pain, but if I push past that, what is there for me? You feeling that at all? Because your potential is so much bigger than your past pain. I'm talking about past pain where someone may have hurt you. I'm even talking about past physical pain. Again, I am not telling you anything that I haven't tried out. What you're looking at is a 3-year cancer survivor. 3 years ago, I was going through the battle of my life. And I'm telling you, when you pain, oh my goodness, pain. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Yeah. But I always knew that beyond that pain, that there was this tremendous potential for life, and that I could co-create what my life would be like with God. I'm not telling you how to believe for yourself. I'm just being a witness to what I know. Holding on to the past, some of us get stuck. Here's what I'm encouraging you to do, and here's what I'm offering as an idea. There might have been some incredibly challenging times behind you, and there might even be a temptation for you to hold on to it, right? And sometimes we hold on to it like a badge because we say, this can't happen to me again. I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm watching you. I'm going to stay ready. I'm not going to let this happen to me again. No, I'm not going to turn my head for a moment. I'm going to remember the pain so much that I'm going to talk about it every single day. You know what I call that? Bitterness. Ooh, sit with that. Anybody know anything about bitterness? Where y'all at? Let me hear you. Do you know anything at all about bitterness? It's easy to be bitter. It really is easy to be bitter. Let me tell you where the challenge is. The challenge is pushing past bitterness. That's where the treasure is too, by the way. All the good stuff is once you get past there, right? It's so tempting to want to get stuck in your story. I learned that from a younger Van Zandt. Stop telling the story over and over and over and over again, because every time you tell the story, it's like taking a scab off a wound, which means you get right back to that place of hurt. You are hurting yourself over and over again when you breathe life into this old story. Okay, it happened. Let's bury it. Let's evict it. Today is a good day to evict was out of your life. Push it out. You're done with it. Was, I'm done with you. All the past, I'm done with that. So I have, you know me, I like to give you bullet points, and I hope you take it down, grab the one that fits you, or all of them. I got 8 of them. Here are a few things that I would say is important when you're going to let go of was. Make a decision to be better than that. For me, I want to be the best version of myself that's possible. So I don't want to be stuck in bitterness. I don't want to be stuck as an angry person. So there. A decision to see yourself better than that is important. That's number 1. Number 2, to remove bitterness and any residuals of mishaps from your consciousness. Bitterness, past mishaps, check them, evict them. Number 3, forgive yourself of any trauma, any confusion that you might have caused. Oh Lord, that one's hard. Whether you did it intentionally or not. Forgive yourself if you started the mess. Because sometimes we start mess. Guilty. I've started a whole lot of fires and ran. Forgive yourself for past trauma and confusion that you started. Do not seek revenge for anything. You don't have to pay anybody back. The way the world works, there's a universal law that is in play whether we know it or not. You don't need to get revenge. You know, you heard mama them say, what goes around comes around. You gonna get yours. You've heard those things, right? So you don't need to get revenge. Number 5, even those relationships that were strained or breached, I am careful not to set myself up for false expectations. So let me break that down. When I've had problems, if a relationship, there was challenges, breach of trust, we fell apart, whatever it is, here's what I do. I'm going to forgive myself for the part that I played in it. I'm going to forgive the person who I think hurt me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm forgetting what happened. That's not what I'm trying to do, because I don't even know how to do that on my own. It means that I'm not going to set myself up to have that thing repeated again. Hey, Coralie, I'm not going to set up a false expectation of myself to be something that I'm not, to pretend that the situation didn't happen. Because I can forgive me and forgive you and move on. Not in anger, but in peace. Bless you. And the one thing that you can do really differently when you really want to move on from a relationship that might have gone bad, bless the person. You don't have to go out to dinner. You don't have to hang out in their house. But bless them. And the way you bless them first is not to speak poorly about them. That's really how you bless people. Do not speak poorly about them. Okay, I'm not going to stick around on that one. Number 6, affirming my intention to remain in integrity. When I want to move away from the past, I just keep saying to myself, stay in integrity, Barbara. Where are you going? What is serving you best? How do you show up better than ever? The best version of yourself. Integrity. How do you show up? And then most importantly, how do you stay in the present moment? See, to get away from the past and what was, you got to stay in the present. You can't be in both. Right? You cannot be in both. So if you are going to be in this present moment where all of the potential lies, where all the good stuff is waiting for us to happen, you can't hang out in the past. Right? You can't hang out there. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Charlene. I hope this is resonating with you. 2 more. Practice, practice, practice the present moment. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. And then the most important part of that in practicing the present moment is staying in the presence of your Creator. So practicing the present and remaining in the presence of your God self. That's how you keep yourself out the past. That's how you stay out the weeds, right? That's how you are sure if you are in this present moment with your highest self, affirming who you are. There is absolutely no way for you to hang out in the past. Hey, Sylvia. And then the very last point, point 8, pray about everything. Every single thing. Every little thing, every big thing. Just pray about it. You know, I'm not saying you got to go in your prayer closet. For those of you who have the prayer closet, I'm not saying you got to go do any Hail Marys or any special rituals. I'm saying just have a talk. Just say, you know what, God, I want to show up every day as my highest self, the most beautiful version of me possible. I'm affirming that today. I'm going to stay out of the weeds. Yeah, there was some bad stuff that happened. You know, I told somebody the other day I was walking. I told my husband the other day we were walking, and I think I was moaning and groaning a little bit. And he asked, "Are you okay?" And I said, "You know, every day I'm in pain. Every single day. There's not a day in the last 3 years since I've gone through, you know, this major restoration. There's not a day that I don't feel pain in some parts of my body where I had major surgery. But I don't talk about that every day, which is why my husband, the closest person to me, would say, "Is everything okay?" Yeah, I'm in pain every day. But that's not what I talk about. What I talk about every day is how I've been restored every single day. I talk about how I'm here, even in the midst of what we see around us, right? Hi, who's that? Clara. Hi, Pam. My cousin is watching. But every single day, I'm in pain. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that I'm here, and I'm so grateful that I'm here. And I'm 3 years past the biggest ordeal in my life. And I can see my grandchildren, and I'm now in Georgia, and I'm appreciating the South in a different way, and I'm loving myself in a different way, and I'm sheltered in, which means I can spend more time with me. Hey, that's the conversation. Pray about everything. All the little bitty stuff, and certainly all the great big stuff. Let go of the past. The past does not serve us well. The past is that rear view mirror that we see, and we look through, we catch a glimpse of it as we're moving to the destination that is ahead of us. I believe that we each have an amazing destination. I don't know what yours is. I know what mine is, and I'm headed in that direction. And I certainly hope you know where yours is. Practice the present. Stay in the presence of God, and let go of what was. I'm Coach Barbara Perkins, and it's been my joy and honor to be with you again the 14th Monday since we started this. Hi, Ingrid. And I'll be back next Monday. And for those of you who are willing to do this for me, would you hit the share button now and start it over, do a watch party for some of your friends? I would love if you would share that, because we have to share good news. And I suggest that this is good news. This is something that I hope that would feed us, all of us. So thank you so much. Hi, Chriswell. How are you? We see you awards, yes. So listen, thank you. I'm going to let Brannis sing us out again. And let's see. Let's find her again. There. And thank you. Thank you for coming in. It's been a joy to be with you for these 30 minutes. God bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good night. Love you all. As Charlene would say, on purpose. I love you on purpose. Thank you, Sharon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.